Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about how the person on your mind felt the last time you two spoke. And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. So I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video, but if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. And but let's focus on this reading right here. And so pick your group, pick your pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? How did group number 1's person, the person on group number 1's mind, how did that person feel the last time they spoke? The last time the two of them spoke? Okay, so I'm sensing that this person felt a bit like they wanted to say something, but it was like it was never really a good time, and it was like there were too many distractions, I think. And I think this person, like afterwards, after you two spoke, I think this person felt a bit empty. Like this person felt like they had an intention before they started talking to you, and that intention was never released, or like it didn't come out in the way that they wanted to. And maybe they also felt a bit like you didn't let them, or and that's another part. I feel like that's maybe something that resonates only with a few of you, but I feel like this person felt a bit like they couldn't get a word in, maybe because you had a lot to say, maybe you had a lot on your mind, a lot of things that you wanted to talk to this person about, and it might have felt really urgent for you, and so you might have felt like this was your only chance to really get your feelings out, your opinion out, and make this person know what's going on with you, or something like that. Maybe yeah, and so I think this person felt a bit like they couldn't really. They had something they wanted to say to you, but they couldn't say it because either they couldn't get I just feel like there's something here that's just kind of stuck in their throat, like it hasn't come out. So I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how this person felt the last time you spoke. Okay, with the Knight of Wands, I feel like this person felt like maybe there was a distraction in the background, like you know, this knight is in the forefront of the picture, and then there's a bonfire in the background, and it's like the bonfire is kind of like a decoy or like something that's distracting the focus, distracting the focus of the person maybe taking the picture, or I don't know, but I feel like there might have been a distraction, and I think this person felt distracted, felt like there was a lot going on at the same time, and they felt like they couldn't really talk from the heart, maybe because you were in a public place, and maybe there were other people around as well, and maybe these people also had a lot to say, and so maybe there was just not really an opportunity to really talk about some of the more like kind of urgent stuff. Like I feel like there's something on this person's mind that this person really wants to talk to you about one-on-one. But I feel like the last time you two spoke, that was not an option because there were too many distractions all around. So I'm gonna shuffle a bit more about how they felt the last time you spoke. Okay, so with the moon, I feel like this person felt a bit nervous, like this person felt a bit uncomfortable the last time you two spoke, and I think it's because of the location, maybe, and the people around, and maybe the distractions. And I think this person just felt like they couldn't really be themselves. Like, they felt like every time you asked them a question or engaged with them or like tried to make them talk about something, they just felt like they couldn't really give you the true answers because of the place, because of the location, because they felt like everybody was listening. And I don't know if that is even true, but that could be kind of like a paranoia thing. Like maybe this person was a bit paranoid that some of the people around were listening to the conversation, but maybe you two met or spoke at a cafe or at a bar where you didn't know anybody at the bar, but still it seems like this person felt uncomfortable anyways. Like they still felt like people could listen in on the conversation, and so I think this is maybe the type of person who doesn't like to talk about anything personal out in public, and it doesn't have anything to do with with some kind of fear that somebody's listening in, or like, but it's still, it's very hard to explain why this is such an issue sometimes, but I have the same issue. Like I feel really uncomfortable talking about personal things out in public, even if I'm just walking on a sideway and like there's nobody there, but or there are people there, but the people there are just passing by and they are not listening in on the conversation, but it's still sort of uncomfortable. You end up listening to what you say from the outside, or like it's like you kind of start hearing your own voice from the people passing by, like hearing it from their perspective, and it's kind of like you get a bit, it ends up being a bit forced or feeling a bit fake, or yeah, but I think this person might have that a bit of a barrier when they talk in public. Like they don't like to talk about personal things in public. So yeah, with the 9 of Swords reversed, I think this person last time, I think this person might actually have felt regretful. And I know this sounds bad, but it's actually not. Like you have to kind of wait it out, because it sounds bad at first, but yeah, I'm gonna explain it. So I think after you two spoke, I think this person felt regretful that they had this conversation with you, but it's not because the conversation was bad. It's not because it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has something to do with them. I think they felt like after that conversation that they contributed to more tension between you two. That it seemed like this conversation made things a bit more awkward, or that they felt like maybe you didn't like them as much after this conversation as you did before the conversation. That they feel like they left a bad impression on you within this conversation, and I think that is why they are regretful that they had it. That things were actually going quite smoothly before. Like I think this person felt like everything was flowing in the right direction, but then this conversation was had, and like it just seemed forced and it seemed awkward, and after that I think they just felt like now you probably feel like there's no chemistry here, or I don't even know if this is romantic. I don't really think it's romantic for most of you. I think it's more like a friendship or something like that. I don't know, but I think this person felt like it was like a step backwards after this conversation. So, and with the Empress reversed, I think this person felt like there wasn't I think they probably expected this conversation to be more emotional than it was, and it has also a lot to do with them. Like it's also their fault. And I think this person completely understands that they also should have done more in order to make it more comfortable. I feel like there might also have been something that you said to them, like maybe you shared something slightly personal, maybe intimate with them, maybe about yourself or maybe about this connection, I don't know, but it could be something from your personal life. I'm not really sure what you shared with this person, but I think you probably expected more of a reaction. You probably expected them to be more empathetic, maybe show a bit more sympathy, show a bit more show a bit more body language, really, like showing that they actually cared about what you said, and maybe you felt like you didn't get that actually. And I think they also know that you probably was disappointed in their reaction, but it's because this person can't really react sympathetically when they are out in public, because they feel like everybody's looking at them and they don't want to be they don't want to be seen as vulnerable, or like there's some kind of barrier where they feel like they can't really show emotions out in public. And so I think they let you down in a way. They know that it wasn't really the right way to react. But I feel like they felt like people could hear them, that they didn't know what to say to you, because they felt like, especially if you told this person something in the workplace or in your school, or like somewhere where it's not that public, where it's actually people that you two know. I think this person felt like everybody could listen in, and that it was a bit uncomfortable. So I'm kind of curious about like what this person, like I felt like in the channeling that this person wanted to say something to you, and I kind of want to know what that is. Okay, Page of Cups. So I think this person wanted to say something, or I feel like this might resonate with some of you, but it's just coming in, and so take what resonates. But I do sense that for many of you, this person was probably gonna talk to you about romantic feelings. Because Page of Cups is usually a love offer. So but yeah. So, but if this is not a reading about love or romance, then I think they just wanted to share something with you, something emotional, something to do with feelings, something that was really weighing heavily on their heart. But they didn't feel like it was the right setting for talking about that. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Omegaland Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2? How did the person on group number 2's mind feel the last time they spoke? Okay, so I feel like they felt a bit caught off guard, like you were bringing some information to the table that they didn't know about, and so they had to process some of the information that you gave them. Like there's something about this person feeling like they came to the they came unprepared, or something like that. That they felt a bit unprepared, like you had something to say, and they just didn't know until you said that they didn't know that this conversation was gonna be about the topic that it was gonna be about. Like I I feel like that yeah, it just caught them off guard. I feel like also for some of you, you might have confronted this person with something they did, and so maybe they didn't expect that to happen. Like they didn't expect this information to be brought up in this conversation. They didn't expect you to ever talk about it again, like or if it's something that this person did to you, or something you caught this person doing, or something you found out somehow through the internet or something, I don't know, but I feel like you had something with you when, like, you had some information or something new to tell this person when you started this conversation with them. You knew what you were going to talk about, but they didn't. They didn't know what you were going to say, and so they felt like the power balance was a bit off, because they felt like they were not in their right element, like, because they might always have the upper hand, and now suddenly you had the upper hand, and I think they just didn't expect that. So I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. About how they felt the last time you spoke. Okay, with the Ace of Wands, I think they felt like things were going quite fast. Like I feel like also this person, their pulse was raised, like their heartbeat was, or their heart was beating quite fast. So I feel like this person, like there was something about this conversation that did have a physical effect on them. Like they felt kind of physically ill in a way, or just, this could also be just a, but I feel like this affected them. It affected them either in a positive or negative way. I feel like it's maybe more in a negative way, but it could also be the butterflies in the stomach kind of feeling. But I feel like for most of you, I'm just sensing that that the information that you brought to the table was maybe some information that this person was not expecting and so it was not well received. I feel like that is the physical reaction. I think this person started sweating, kind of their heart beating fast, and they kind of wanted to leave, like they because of this information. But that's for some of you. I know it might not resonate with all of you, but that's for those of you who confronted this person with some evidence or some new information or something. But for others of you where this was just a conversation about something completely different, I think this person had a physical reaction that was maybe more positive. But I feel like this person felt like shots were fired, in like that there was that you were kind of pants on, like that you that you had had pants on, like hands on, but I feel like you also were like maybe wearing the pants if you're the female, and this is a male, then maybe they felt like you were being more active and less passive, and maybe they expected you to be more passive, but I don't know. With the Tower here, I think this person felt like a bomb was kind of dropped on them. Like this person was not expecting what you had to say. Like this person felt like this was really a shock to them. Like there's a bomb in this building, and this person is escaping the building because of the bomb there. And I think this person felt like something overwhelming happened in that conversation, and I think their first reaction was to just escape. Like I think this person felt like that was the easiest way to deal with this would be just to leave. But I'm gonna shuffle a bit more about how they felt the last time you spoke. With the Ten of Wands, I think they felt they felt like they were about to drop everything, and I think that can be understood in many ways. But I feel like this person had a fear that there was too much going on at once, and that if this person I think this person might have been quite busy at the time, and maybe this information that you gave this person, or if you said something that made this person's world go upside down in a way, I think this person felt like that was not what they needed at the time, or that it seemed to come at a bad time. But yeah, I think whatever you said, I don't think any other time would have been much better. I think sometimes things need to be said, and it's kind of selfish to only want things to happen when, I feel like this person is a bit of a control freak in a way, where they only want people to say things to them when they are in a good mood, or something like that. That it all relies on them. It all has if it's not a good time for them, then it's just not going to happen. And I think this person felt like it wasn't a good time, and that they were just kind of annoyed that you brought it up, because it wasn't how they were expecting it to happen, or how and I think maybe if you confronted this person with something they did, I think they just didn't expect any backlash to happen ever. I think this person might go through life always expecting that every action that they do never has any consequences at all. Like they don't expect, that anything has a downside or anything like that. That they can. And so, even if this wasn't even for those of you where this wasn't a confrontation or anything like that at all, then I still think this person felt like they were like ambushed in a way, like that what you said made them feel ambushed. I don't know if it was because there were other people witnessing this or something, and they might have felt like you put them on the spot because there were other people there, but it's like, yeah, I'm going to shuffle a bit more to see how they felt the last time you two spoke. Okay, so with the Moon card, like you can see this woman here, like she's in a bikini kind of exposed, and there are all these things poking at her, like a fork poking at her, a person poking at her, and it's all just poking at her. And I think the person on your mind, they felt maybe that you were poking at them the last time you two spoke. They might have felt like you were maybe trying to make them do something or say something, or maybe they just felt that you were pushing them to do something or say something, that you might have, they might also have felt like it was a bit of a setup, like that you were trying to make them fall into a trap. And I don't. I don't know. It's but with the Empress here, I think they felt like although all this although all this happened, or I think they still felt like you were I think they felt still interested in you after this. And I don't know if that's good or bad, especially if you have been confronting this person, especially if this person crossed your boundaries or did something like that. Then it's of course not nice to know that they are still attracted to you and still might try to might still want something with you. But I feel like it's very strange. There's also the Judgment card, and I think this person felt after this that you could somehow leave this behind you and move on. And so I feel like this person felt like all, even though this was very uncomfortable for them, or they felt that way at least, like that it wasn't that they were put on the spot, that you dropped a bomb on them, that you that shots were fired, and they felt like you were poking at them or something, and like that. Still, after that, I think they still want, like this person is offering his hand, and like, so there's still like this feeling of wanting reconciliation, feeling of wanting this relationship to, or this connection to not be what's it called, not be defined by this conversation that you two had that was very uncomfortable for them. But I think they don't want that to define your relationship moving forward. They want to just move on from this, and but while this was happening, they felt very much like you were putting them on the spot. But I think afterwards, after the conversation that you had with them, I think they regained some perspective. They started looking at it with other eyes, like different eyes, like they tried to see it from another perspective. They might even have talked to someone, maybe their mother, and realized that they might have overreacted to this, or maybe felt a bit like this was an ambush, when maybe this was just a normal conversation, and that maybe they were playing the victim about this, or making themselves believe that they were a victim of something unfair, unjust, but I think somebody might have helped them gain a new perspective and realize that maybe they kind of had it coming, like they kind of should have expected this to happen, that it shouldn't have been such a big shock to them that this happened, and that they can't control the timing of everything, that sometimes something comes up and it might not be the exact timing that as they would have wanted this to be, but that is just not, that's just out of their control. And so I think this person has kind of realized that afterwards. I feel like now they have more perspective, and also maybe realizing that the poking that you did was not ill-intended, that you were maybe just trying to get a more sincere reaction from them. Like maybe after you dropped this bomb, they might have acted in a way that wasn't, where you felt like they weren't actually reacting sincerely, and so maybe you kind of poked at them and tried to maybe see if they could react, or see if they could answer, if you maybe kept pushing it forward, or but they definitely seem to I think this person has like now, like especially if this was a confrontation about something they did in the past, or something they said, something that made you angry, something that made you hurt. I think afterwards, after this conversation, when this person regained some perspective, I think they actually was remorseful. I think they understood that they had done something wrong. they might have needed someone to kind of explain it to them, like maybe their mother or someone close to them. But I think after that, they actually understood that it was them who was the villain, actually, and it wasn't very clear to them while they were sitting in the hot seat. They didn't really realize that it was actually their fault that this happened, or that they were actually the one to blame for this. But yeah, I think they have realized that afterwards. So, but yeah, I don't know if this if this. I hope this resonated. I don't really. I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2. If none of this made sense to you, then pick another group. But yeah. But I think that, yeah. If this reading was helpful, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Wonderland Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? How did the person on their mind feel the last time the two of them spoke? I think this person felt I feel like this person felt a bit embarrassed, or like, but not that much. But it's like I feel like this person felt very starstruck somehow, like, or like, I feel like the things that you talked about with this person, it really helped this person gain a new perspective, and they felt like, I feel like you had a very deep conversation with this person, and maybe you talked about something personal, or like something about this person's family life or family dynamic, or something about some relationships that this person has had with other people, or something, or it could have been something more general, like philosophy, religion, spirituality, something, or history, or politics, or something. I don't know. But I feel like this conversation, it ended up being very deep, and this person felt what's it called, like flabbergasted. I don't think that's right, but something like that. Is that a word, flabbergasted? Like, is that a word? I don't know. It sounds like a word. It kind of doesn't sound like a word now. But it I feel like this person felt that. So if that word resonates with you, then I think that they felt that about something you said. So there's. I think this person felt like you were broadening their horizon, that you had a lot of smart things to say, and that they were blown away, and they realized some things about themselves and their family, and they just felt like some mystery was solved, like that you solved a mystery from the short conversation that you two had, a mystery that this person haven't been able to solve their whole life. And so it's like they just felt like they were in the presence of someone really great. but they also felt a bit embarrassed, and I'm gonna go into that now, because I feel like of course there's always a downside. Like every time there's like a lot of good things happening, someone always feels a bit like they're not good enough, and I think this person felt a bit like that in this conversation. Like they felt like you were just excelling at at everything you were talking about, like and they felt like you probably didn't find them to be that smart, because and it wasn't anything that you said, it was just that they felt like you were bringing so much to the table and they just didn't bring anything to the table, and they just felt like you must have wanted them to share something awesome, and they felt like they might have let you down because they weren't really bringing that much to the table. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about the last time you two spoke, how they felt. Okay, so with the Four of Pentacles reversed, I think this person felt like you were really able to make them open up, and they usually never open up to people, especially that easily. I think this person felt like you could easily open them up and make them share a lot of personal stuff that they wouldn't want to share with anyone. And I think they just felt like you had some kind of magic going on, like that you had an ability to make them talk. And I think this person might be a bit introverted and a bit shy, and so I think this person, I don't know if this person is introverted, but I feel like this person is shy, especially about things that are personal to them, and I think they felt like there was kind of a big brick that was lifted off their shoulders, like they felt like you really touched something inside of them. And I feel like they also felt very healed after that conversation you two had, that they felt like you were able to heal a part of them that has been closed off for a long time and has just been weighing on them for a long time. And I think you were able to kind of get this person to share and get that burden lifted. So yeah, with the Queen of Wands, I think they felt like you were very very easy to talk to, very easygoing, very easy to like as well, very likable, and I think they just they felt very comfortable in your presence. Maybe even so comfortable that like they could also go a bit silent sometimes, like where they didn't feel like they had to talk all the time. Like that there might have been some awkward silences between you two, but it didn't feel awkward, at least not to them. They didn't feel that awkwardness. But I'm gonna shuffle a bit more about how they felt the last time you two spoke. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles, I think they felt they felt like you helped them. You helped them gain perspective on something. You might have even helped them learn something new that they didn't know before. Like maybe you learned them a skill or something that like, or maybe you gave them a crash course in something, and they felt maybe that you gave them something, and they didn't give you, and you didn't give, and they didn't give you anything back, and so maybe they felt a bit like the balance was a bit off. That maybe you even brought a present to the conversation. Maybe it was their birthday or something the last time you spoke, and so maybe you gave them a present, and they didn't bring you anything, and you didn't expect that because it wasn't your birthday. But maybe they kind of felt bad because maybe they didn't give you anything on your birthday, but you might not have held a party at your when it was your birthday, and so they couldn't have given you a present at that time. And so but yeah, I think this person felt maybe a bit like you were giving a lot, either physically or psychologically, or like or psychically. Maybe you also did a psychic reading on this person or something. I don't know. Maybe you had your tarot cards with you, like, or something, and you might have, or maybe you asked this person about the zodiac sign and gave them a bit of a reading on what's going to happen, or something. I don't know. And I think this person just felt like you were giving a lot of yourself, and you were giving them a lot. You were making a lot of effort to help them, but that they might have felt like they didn't really do a lot for you in that conversation. That it seemed like the conversation was more about them than it was about you. And I think I think they, like, afterwards, I think they felt a bit embarrassed because they felt like it had all been about them. And they felt like that you probably considered them to be like self-absorbed or something, because it seemed like the whole conversation was about them. But I don't think you saw it that way. I think you actually enjoyed the conversation, enjoyed talking about them and helping them with their issues. But I think that is something they feel a bit embarrassed about, because I think usually this person is quite good at making sure that it's like 50-50, like that it's ping pong, like that. And I think they really they want it to be equal. A conversation needs to be equal in their mind, and I think they felt like it wasn't equal. But I think. Yeah, so I think that's something they are a bit embarrassed about. But yeah, I'm gonna shuffle a bit more about how they felt the last time you spoke. Okay, so with the World here, I think this person felt like probably felt like you were a bit exotic in a way, or that there was something that you said that seemed like something they couldn't learn from anybody else. Like maybe you brought something, like some knowledge maybe passed on from your ancestors or something, and so maybe they felt really. I think this person felt very good about that you didn't feel that you didn't have a problem sharing something that is very like, yes, something something that's maybe like a family secret or something like that. I don't know. But it could also be something else, like this person could also have felt like you were very good at, like when you were talking to them, that you were very good at remaining like the big picture, like seeing the big picture and not getting caught up in the small details. That it was like you could get that helicopter view on everything, like you were able to see things from a higher perspective. And with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, I think this person felt a bit like the work balance was a bit off in this conversation. Like they felt like one person was working very hard and I felt or making a lot of effort. Like that one was the laborer of this conversation and one was just slacking. And I think they felt like they were slacking in this conversation. Like they were just they didn't feel like they were questioning you enough, and they weren't really bringing value to the table or something like that. So yeah, with the Judgment card reversed, I think this person felt very unjudged during this conversation, like that you were very tolerant, very open-minded, and very overbearing with them. Like you really accepted them wholeheartedly, and they felt that very much. That you were a bit of a saint, actually. Like they felt like you were very, very pure, and yeah. With the King of Cups, I think this person felt like they could be vulnerable around you, that you didn't judge them for being vulnerable, that you wouldn't judge them if they showed you emotions or showed their more sensitive side to you, that you were very very, very tolerant, not someone who would ridicule anyone. Like I think this person felt like you were not a bully, like you wouldn't bully anyone, and I think that was something this person really, really felt good about. And that's also, like, I think this person just felt like you were a very good person, and so after the conversation they just felt like you gave them so much, and they just felt like they didn't know how to repay you for this. They felt really like you were doing a service to them, like you were being a psychologist to them, that it was like getting a therapy session with you. Like they felt like you were giving them a therapy session, or that's at least for those of you. I feel like that resonates with a lot of you. So, but if it doesn't resonate, then yeah, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But yeah, I think this person just, I feel like they enjoyed the conversation. They didn't feel very good about themselves afterwards, and they kind of had a guilt trip about that afterwards, because they felt like you were bringing so much to the table, and they just felt like they were taking everything off the table and just putting it in their pockets and leaving. Like they felt like they were taking advantage in a way. of your kindness. And so, but I feel like they felt good, and they still think about this conversation right now. Like they haven't, maybe not right now, but like lately they have, like, and I don't know if this conversation happened like a few days ago, then of course it's but of course they would be thinking about it, like, but I also just feel like they have had it on their mind since the conversation happened. They have been thinking a lot about the things that you said to them, the things that you told them, the things that you analyzed for them, and yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Wandering Star tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? How did the person on group number 4's mind feel the last time the two of them spoke? Okay, I think they felt quite good. I think they felt like it was a good conversation that you two had, and I think they felt good about it. Like, they might have felt a bit. I don't know if you were. I don't know if you were intoxicated by something, or like if you were drunk, or if the two of you both were drunk, or if you were maybe high or something. I don't know. Take what resonates, but I feel like this person might feel like it would have been better to have this conversation sober, but that it was a good conversation anyways. They still feel good about it. Okay, so with a four of Pentacles, I think this person felt like they're that there was some kind of like maybe this person felt like not everything was brought to the table, like that maybe you didn't talk about all the things that needed to be talked about. Maybe there was something like a bit lingering, like something that wasn't, or not lingering, but like there seems to have been something that was on both of your minds, like something that was kind of a shadow to the conversation, but it never really materialized into the conversation. It never became a part of the conversation, and I think both of you kind of feel a bit like maybe it should have been talked about more, or maybe it was abrupted, like, or interrupted by something, like maybe you were in the middle of something like that was about some conversation that was about to happen, but then somebody interrupted the conversation, and so it never happened. And maybe, but I think up until that point, I think this person felt like it was a good conversation. I think you two spoke about some things that were good, maybe not as smart as they could have been if you had maybe been sober, like both of you had been sober. Then maybe it was a bit of a silly conversation, but it was I think this person felt good about it, like that it brought you closer. And maybe they also feel like it was okay that it was interrupted right in the middle of the conversation, because maybe it was going a direction that probably wouldn't have been a good direction while being in the state of mind that you two were in at the moment. Like, especially for the person on your the other person, the person on your mind. I think they were maybe a bit too drunk or too high to have a deeper conversation than the conversation that you two had. Like, so I think this person kind of knew where this was going, and I think they were kind of happy that it didn't go there at that time, if that makes sense to you. So with the Ace of Swords, I think this person felt like felt very I think they felt good about I think they always feel good about talking to you. So I think the last time you two spoke, I think it wasn't that different from all the other times you two have spoken. Just like, besides the fact that you two were about to talk about something that might have not happen every day, and so but since that didn't happen, I think this person just feels like the last conversation you had was very usual, like business as usual in a way, like you two just being funny together, smart together, talking about something that is that maybe only you two understand, like that maybe it's a bit hard for other people to get into your conversations, the conversations that you two have. It might be hard to kind of butt in on those, because it's like maybe you have a lot in common, and maybe you have a lot of unique things in common that maybe other people don't understand. Like, maybe you have seen the same TV shows, and maybe the TV shows that you have seen are kind of rare, like not the type of TV shows that everybody has seen. So maybe you have those very special conversations that maybe aren't for everyone. Like so it's something that you two only have together, and I think this person just felt very close to you, very, like, it was very comfortable. It was like talking to their relative, like that they feel very and if this is your relative, I think this person felt just like that it was very close, that you two are very close, and that it's nice that you have this connection that you two have. But if you're not relatives, I just think this person feels very comfortable around you, that they feel like they can say anything to you, and that they can also kind of gossip with you, like talk about other people behind their back with you, and that you understand them, and that you also share maybe some of the experiences that they have with others. Like maybe they are a bit annoyed with one of their colleagues, and maybe you get them, maybe you understand why they are a bit annoyed with that person, because maybe you are annoyed with that person too. And so I don't know, but I think it's just, it feels very close, like you two have a very close bond. Yeah. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how they felt the last time you spoke. With the Six of Wands reversed, I think they felt, maybe they felt a bit like, suddenly they felt slightly that there were maybe some competition. I don't know, but I feel like maybe if your conversation was interrupted by somebody else, they might have felt a bit like maybe you liked that person more than you liked them, or maybe you. So maybe they felt a bit like you were maybe not prioritizing them. But I think at the end of the day, they don't really mind this interruption that it happened, because they felt like they were too high or too drunk to talk about what you were about to talk about, because that would have been a disaster if this person had said the wrong thing. Like they feel like they need to be in a good mindset to have that conversation, because it's crucial that they react correctly, because it could, because the relationship and the friendship or relationship that you two have could have depended on it. So I think this person was happy enough that it didn't go that way, that conversation didn't happen. But I think they still kind of felt like maybe the person that interrupted you two, that they were a bit annoyed with that it was that person. Like they didn't mind the interruption, they minded the interrupter, like the person interrupting. That was maybe not the person that they wanted to interrupt this conversation. So if that makes sense. But so I don't know if somebody came and broke up the conversation, like physically, if you were at a party or something. But it could also have been that you got a text from someone, or a phone call from someone, and you had to take that call, and maybe you told them afterwards who it was, who made that call, and maybe they felt like that they didn't like the fact that you gave that person so much time, or that it made them feel a bit like maybe you prioritize them more. So I know it's very specific, so it might not resonate with all of you, but yeah. With the Three of Wands reversed, I think well, this is like this person, she's looking into like binoculars. Is that what it's called? Yeah, but whatever. But and I think this when it's reversed, I think this person felt like that you weren't maybe like this could be considered a bit like just watching this card as like a woman looking into binoculars. It's kind of like a bit of a stalker vibe I'm getting just from the imagery, and with it reversed, I think this person felt like a bit left out, or that you were a bit too comfortable with them, where they might have felt like maybe you have friend-zoned them because you're not really showing a lot of dedication maybe into like that. It doesn't seem like you're afraid that if this person is talking to somebody else, like, and I think this person might have felt that you didn't care if they flirted with someone, or like if they did something with, like if they talked to someone. They might have tried to make you jealous actually. The last time you spoke, they might have, maybe they felt like because you were interrupted during your conversation with this person, the person on your mind, the person on your mind felt like, oh, okay, so you're just prioritizing that person over me. And so they went on and maybe started talking to somebody else just to make you feel the same way, or make you feel abandoned in a way, or make you feel the same way as they felt when you allowed that person to interrupt the conversation. And I think you just maybe you didn't care, or maybe you felt like it was justified, like it wasn't a big deal. You kind of understood that they would converse with somebody else while you were conversing with somebody else, like that it was just natural and organic, and that it wasn't something to make a big fuss about. But I think they might have wanted you to make a bit of a fuss about it, or maybe they expected you to have more they might have expected you to look towards them. Like, I think this person, like, if I feel like you two were at some kind of event or at a party or something, and I think you might have walked away at some point and started talking to some people at the other end of the room. And I think this person kept looking at you from the other side of the room, and they tried to get eye contact with you, but they realized that you never looked towards them. And so they felt maybe like, okay, so you're not spying on me. And I think they felt a bit ambivalent about that. Like, of course, you shouldn't be spying on them, but they kind of also want you to spy on them sometimes, like just to feel like you would, like you care, like if this person had started kissing someone, they would have kind of looked to the side and seen if you were looking, just to see if they could get a reaction from you. But I think they just felt like maybe you didn't care, or like but I think you cared, but I think you were just preoccupied with something else. But I think this kind of makes me feel like this person is a bit jealous, like, or kind of has a sense of you two already being very close and being like family, and being like that you two are a unit in a way, like. And I think they just feel like maybe that is just in their head, but I think they kind of felt like maybe it was also from your part, because I think they kind of knew that. I know this might only resonate with some of you, but I feel like if you were about to talk about feelings, like romantic feelings that you have for this person, and the conversation was interrupted, I think this person felt like they wanted to have that conversation, just not at the moment, because they were too drunk or too high to do it, but they wanted that. But then, like, afterwards, they just felt like by looking at you, talking to the other people and not really spying on them while you were talking to the other people, they just felt like maybe that was actually not what you were supposed that it was not what you were about to say. Like that maybe they felt like maybe they had misunderstood what you were about to say. So I think they second guessed themselves a bit and kind of got like started overthinking that. So, but yeah. But I'm gonna shuffle one more card and see how this person felt the last time you spoke. Okay, it was 2 cards, but yeah, it's fine. So with the 5 of Wands, I think they felt like it was a bit debatable, and something was a bit debatable, and so I think they kind of felt a bit conflicted, or felt like maybe what they thought they knew wasn't maybe what was actually happening, or maybe they felt like they had read too much into it, or read some signs that actually weren't. I feel like this person has feelings for you, and I think this person felt before this conversation or during this conversation, and like at the end of the conversation, and still like throughout this conversation, I think they felt like it was about to be revealed in a sense, or that you were about to reveal it, and so I think they feel strongly that you feel the same way towards them. But I think the evidence is just not there to back it up. Like, so they can't really be completely certain that this is actually what's going on, or this was what's going on at the time. So I think they were gathering evidence, and when they were gathering evidence, I think they felt like maybe there wasn't actually enough evidence to back it up. So, but with the Magician here, I think maybe they felt like suddenly felt a bit like they feel like they during the conversation that they had with you, they felt like you two have this strong chemistry, strong connection, that you two are just in sync, like that you understand each other on a deeper level, that you can say whatever is on your mind, and that it's flowing in a way that is just rare and beautiful. And I think afterwards, after this conversation that you had with this person the last time you two had after the last time you spoke, I think this person started wondering whether you have such a strong connection with everyone. Like if maybe this isn't so rare, that maybe you're just a very likable person and very comfortable to talk to, and very welcoming, and very very open-hearted, and like that maybe everyone feel the same way towards you as they do towards you, and so maybe they just felt like maybe you don't feel anything special towards them, and so I think they got a bit confused and uncertain afterwards. But they felt good about the conversation during the conversation. It's just the aftermath that kind of made this person spiral a bit. But yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. Group number 4, I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye.